Okay, being 7:30 on November 19th, we are going to hold our meeting, and this meeting is held on video conference following our examination of the interior of the library, and due to the pandemic, it would be not feasible to have the full board in the library, especially after the latest decrees from the government. So may I please have a roll call? Jennifer.
Ms. Bernstein? Ms.
Yes.
Bernstein, okay.
Yes.
Ms. Grisham?
Yes.
Mr. Globinger?
I'm here.
Mr. Parsi?
Here.
Ms. Shu?
Yes.
Ms. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Fromm?
Yes, thank you. We have everybody, which is nice. I need a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented. You saw it on the agenda, including the semi-annual review of closed meeting minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Thank
I'll
you.
second it.
Okay, roll call, please.
Ms. Bernstein?
Yes.
Ms. Grisham?
Yes.
Mr. Globinger?
Yes.
Mr. Parsi?
Yes.
Ms. Shu?
Yes.
Ms. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Fromm?
Thank you, yes. Public comments, are there any comments, Kate?
Not just yet, Carlos. Someone did raise their hand. It looks like Gerald Angelo raised his hand. So, and we do have, while he's typing, I will read what Barbara Unical, and Barbara, I apologize if I butchered your last name, said. She said, "Good evening, this is Barbara Unical. I am on the meeting site but cannot be seen, and she is our newest trustee who is going to be elected in the April election. That the caucus just slated. So yeah, so if you want to just give it maybe another minute, or I'm happy to go back if after Gerald has typed whatever he needs, I can read it at that point in the meeting.
Okay, we don't need to read the chats except for the public ones, unless is a requirement by law.
We're required to read any of the attendees' chats into the session because those are all public comments, so those need to be recorded.
Okay.
So
Barbara, welcome. I wish you the best of luck and enjoy with this board. These are terrific people, and you will have everybody speaking good English. Thank you.
Oh, hang on. Gerald did just type, he said, following up on an email from way back in August.
Okay.
And then he's typing some more, so we can just pause for a sec.
All right. Continuing with the public comments while Gerald puts his note. Katie's gonna be on vacation, we know that, and she will provide an additional update on the opening if we ever do. Anna, do you want to provide an update on the boiler while we wait, please?
We're still working through the outstanding issues with mechanical concepts and Calor, so I really have nothing to report.
Okay, thank you very much. And we are going to talk about the Staff Appreciation Week. In the past, we have delivered something every day for 7 days, one trustee at a time. This is not possible this time. So I would like to propose that we give money to Kate to buy things that the staff may want. I don't know how much you guys spend. I spend anywhere between $20 and $30. Are you guys comfortable with, let's say, $25?
Yes.
Is that okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. then we are going to send a check to Kate, or any which way you want, Kate. Just send us an email to how to send the check to whom and payable to whom, and we'll go from there. Are there comments yet coming? No?
Nothing yet.
Okay.
Oh, there.
Oh, here we go. Okay. So the comment from Gerald Angelo is wondering why the library is not using their website homepage for news items that are currently on social media platforms, since the library website is the hub of patrons' interaction with the library, while social media is a platform that doesn't share the values of the library's social justice statements.
Okay, thank you very much for the comment. We will pass that to Kate, and she will have the decision later on later in the week or the month, of what the staff can do these days. A lot of the staff are working from home, and it's kind of difficult, but I'm sure that if the staff can do something to provide information for the people, as we have been doing in the past, they will. So thank you for your comment. We're going to the, Kate, you want to give us the reopening plan update, please?
Sure. So as everyone is aware, we did close to the public as of Thursday at 5. So starting with our Friday hours, we were closed. We are still, as I shared with the board, offering a lot of remote services. Our programming continues to be virtual, curbside pickup, homebound deliveries, as well as phone support, technology support. One of the things that we've added with this is more pickup services. So now people, if they need to print something, they can still use our print from anywhere service, and we'll make it available to them through the curbside pickup. We're doing the same thing with our 3D printing jobs, as well as with some of our take and make crafts that Youth Services has put together, as well as some of our early literacy activities. You may have read in my report, we have the We Play activity kits that people can check out so that they can have a more interactive experience and less screen time with their young ones, with a recording by our Youth Services librarian, Anna Fillmore, to kind of help them understand how to interact with their young children and encourage some of those early literacy skills. So we're continuing to look for ways to still connect with the public. Thus far, we haven't gotten any really negative responses to closing again. I think people are very grateful that we're still offering as many services as we are. And we will, on December 3rd, be starting to offer interlibrary loan again. So people will be able to request items from other libraries. And I think we anticipate that we've already started taking holds for that. And we anticipate that will be another popular service. I will say that, so we made our announcement right before the schools were deciding to do their thing. We are going to be re-looking at this again the week of November 30th. My inclination is to follow what the schools are doing and what the Glenview Library is doing, and essentially what the park districts are doing. So we probably will be closed beyond December 8th, but we won't be making an official determination on that, and probably until like January 15th, along with the schools, so that the communities are units of local government are working in tandem together again. But we won't make that decision until after Thanksgiving. Unfortunately, the numbers are still going up like crazy. So I have a feeling that we're not going to be seeing any change in that. And I'm happy to provide any additional information or answer any questions on my report or on anything we're doing with the reopening, or I guess reclosing. I'm going to change it. I changed our reopening plan name to COVID Library Action Plan, because it doesn't really make sense to call it reopening anymore because we just reclosed. So.
Okay. Any questions? Okay, I have one. How do you guys handle questions for the reference desk?
We have a couple different ways that we do it. So people can send us an email or they can call us, and we will
on site for that.
Well, we do have one member of the reference department typically on site during the day, but as you know, many of the resources for looking up stuff are available online through our online databases. So if though there was one time Susan was telling me that there was something that they needed in a book, so they just had the staff member that was on site pull it out and look at it and either take a picture, scan it, or give them the information over the phone.
Now, we do not send the questions that come to the library phone to the home phone of the employee, do we?
No, absolutely not. Nope. So everyone that is answering the phone from home is answering it through the library's new VoIP phone service that we launched in January. So they're either doing it on their computer with a headset, or there's an app that you can download for iPhone and Android phones. And so when it rings through the library, and they can also make calls that way as well. So if they need to call a patron back, it's also the caller ID will show coming from the library.
Okay, thank you very much, Kate. And I also see that you're gonna have some vacation, well deserved. So
Periodically here and there. There's a lot of it, so
Good.
don't know if I'll get to all of it, but I'm gonna try.
Sean, you got the floor. Unmute yourself and tell us
All right.
about the circulation renovation bid. I
Hey,
see
well,
that it came under your projection. You always inflate those projections on purpose, don't you?
I mean, I told you, right? So we're under budget, about 37,000 based on the estimate that we had provided originally. So, you know, we sat in some pretty good shape here. The only few trades that were over was ceramic tile by $613 and electrical by $2,400. All the others trended either substantially or less than what we had provided originally. So,
thank you, Sean. I'm going to ask our resident expert, Maura, to make any comments if you have about the bid. You're muted.
Internet was just out, so I missed that entire bit there.
no. Do you want me to repeat?
Basically, we came under budget anyway, so.
Right, so.
The ceramic tile was the expense item. I don't know if you noticed that on the bids. There was and I don't know if you can suggest anything alternative, but you can talk to Sean offline later on if you wish. Is that okay?
No, I mean, I don't think we'd want to go with a different material, and I think we're trying to match things. For my understanding is that we're trying to match what's there, and that's sort of narrowing our scope, right?
Correct, especially in the lobby, you know, where we have the current tile, we need to obviously match that, otherwise it would look weird.
Okay, so I need a motion to approve bids for the RFID and the circulation renovation project in the amount of $820,907.
So moved.
Sharon, was that you? And Jay?
Yes, and I think, yeah, Jay,
Yes.
so moved.
All right. Jennifer, roll call, please.
Ms. Bernstein,
Yes.
Ms. Christian,
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Globinger,
Yes.
Mr. Parsi,
Yes.
Ms. Shu,
Yes.
Ms. Young,
Yes.
Mr. Frome.
Thank you. Motion carries. Barbara, for your information, we are doing everything on roll call because of we are online. Sometimes, especially on a dollar item, we have to do roll call, but if not, we can do it by motion right on the spot. Okay, let's talk about the library support for local businesses.
Yeah. So I included a report, of course, in the board packet, kind of sharing what we've done. I think most specifically with the pandemic, we've really focused on trying to hire or trying to purchase local from local vendors for our summer and now our winter reading programs. Typically during the summer and winter reading, we go out to local businesses and ask them to donate coupons, and we have not done that this year for obvious reasons, and have gotten a lot of appreciation from the local businesses that we're purchasing instead of asking for donations. But as you can see from the list provided, we have a number of other local businesses that we've used in the past year. A lot of performers, programming people come from the local community, but also different vendors for supplies and building maintenance, et cetera. I guess what I would love to hear from the board is there more that you would like to see us doing? We're going to be highlighting what our focus on local business in our January, February newsletter. But since of course they are critical to the general infrastructure of the community, does the board desire us to do more or do anything differently? And is there any more information that you would like to have regarding kind of how we create and support local, well, I guess we don't create, but support local businesses?
I want you to explain the restrictions that we have regarding giving super preferential treatment to local businesses.
Okay, so I think what you're referring to, Carlos, is when we have a construction project that's going to be over $25,000, the state requirement says that we have to go out to bid. And with those bids, we are obligated to take the lowest, the board is obligated to take the lowest responsible bidder. Now that keyword there is responsible, because we have had bidders in the past that haven't been super responsible. And so for us, it is first we look at the lowest, we determine whether or not they're a responsible bidder. We can't just say, oh, but this is a Northbrook company and we're going to just hire them. Now in other states like Wisconsin, they do allow some flexibility to support more local businesses. There is nothing like that written into the law here in Illinois. Now, of course, with other projects, we absolutely do look for and support local businesses, as you can see. But in terms of large scale construction projects, we can't just say, oh, we're going to just hire 3E Electric because they're a Northbrook based electrician. We have to go through the bidding process and we have to take the lowest responsible bidder.
I would like, if possible, to put on the newsletter or on the website the fact that if the bids are for under $25,000, we will try to allocate them to local businesses. I don't know that the town or the businesses in town know that amount of money, that level. So at least we will show them that we are interested in their bids and that we are responsive to them as much as we can.
So Carlos, are you talking just for construction related projects or for every single thing that we purchase at the library? Because that would be a huge shift in what we have been doing. We tend, Anna, for instance, for supplies, tends to put out requests to multiple companies, and we take the lowest amount provided the same quality of material that we're purchasing is there. So if you're saying that we're only going to purchase from local vendors unless there isn't anything in the local economy, that would be a major shift. And certainly if that is the way the entire board would like us to go, we can do that. I guess I would love some clarification.
Anna, tell us, how difficult is this?
Carlos, I mean, if a Northbrook vendor reaches out to the library to try to do business with us, I do everything in our power to get the best price. And I try to work with them and, and we try to use them. But for us to have to search for vendors in Northbrook to do those types of, to provide us with that type of service, I mean, that would be a lot. If the vendor reaches out and asks to do business with us, of course, I try to make that happen.
Thank you. I guess that the balance here is trying to benefit a vendor and trying to benefit in not to increase the costs to the library because that comes from taxes. But at the same time, if we could facilitate or we can encourage people to inform you of what they can offer the library, like you said, then that would be a benefit. So maybe we can publicize that information that, yes, tell us what you can do and we will keep you in mind. You know, we don't guarantee that we're gonna buy from them, we can't, but at least we will keep them in mind for anything that we purchase. What do you guys think?
Oh, can I say one more thing? I know that Kate was gonna mention this, Kate, sorry, but we also we also try to use vendors who might be Northbrook residents, but their businesses are outside of Northbrook. So like Visographic is owned by a Northbrook family. We just started using a printing company the printing company is outside of Northbrook, but he's a Northbrook resident. Our snow removal company is a Northbrook resident, but the company is based out of, is not in Northbrook. So we do try to think about those types of things as well as we look at our vendors.
That's good, and I just want people to know that more. You know, that we don't get hit by emails. Say, why did you ask me? Well, why did you tell us? Basically, right? So tell us.
I mean, it would be a lot easier if they. Yeah. It would be easier if they came to us rather than us having to search them out.
Right. That's fine. So if we publicize that, that would be nice. Any other comments on this issue?
And I think we can't really search them out because that wouldn't, if we missed someone, then that would be considered a problem. So
right. Okay. Point 5.3, employee vacation accrual. I need a motion to allow or not staff to carry over up to 1 week, 35 hours for full-time and 24 hours for part-time of vacation and use it in 2021. Obviously, this pandemic is creating all kinds of issues with vacations and nobody can travel anyway. So I need a motion in that way.
Question though, before. So Kate, and obviously this happens in my company and everywhere else as well, but the reason there's more leftover vacations is more because their schedules or people are enabled. Is it more because of us making them hard to use them, or they just?
So normally, Jamie, we have a handful of people, maybe 4 to 6 people a year that are in danger of losing. Lori Prioletti, our HR manager, sends out multiple reminders through the year. The managers work with staff. They say like, oh, hey, it looks like, oh, Anna, it looks like you're in danger of losing. Let's make a plan to ensure you can take it. So we're very proactive on it. This year just went sideways. We reminded people, but of course no one really wanted to take time because, right, like what are you going to do? I'm going to sit in my house some more. So I think this year is a very unique year. I wouldn't anticipate ever asking for something like this unless, as Carlos predicts, we have another pandemic in a few years and the same thing happens. Let's hope not. I hope you're wrong, Carlos, no offense.
I hope so too.
So we don't put up barriers to people taking vacation, like just using administration as an example. Between the staff here, we like balance out. So for instance, the day after Thanksgiving is a popular day for people to take off. So we take turns so that it's never like, well, that person always gets that day off. We take turns so everyone gets the opportunity, and most of the departments do that as well, so that people can have those kind of high value vacation days like Christmas, New Year's, et cetera, but then also making it easy to do time elsewhere. Is that what you were getting at, Jamie?
Yeah. Yes. So I'm in favor of what you propose. I just want like the administration to stress to the staff that it's important to take time off, even if I just want to make sure it's not because they can't due to schedule. Like they should do that. Like
it's good for your mental health.
Exactly. Yeah.
Jamie, Kate has stressed that multiple times to the staff, but I'm one of those people that are in this problem. And it's not because I couldn't take the time off. It's because I kept putting off taking the time because I thought the pandemic was going to go away.
Yeah.
And I think some other people did that as well. And so now there's all this vacation time is basically what's happened. Kate has stressed to everybody, I think since June, that we all needed to take our vacation because she was afraid this was going to happen.
You should listen to Carlos. We're going to travel in 2022. Abby, you had your hand up.
I was just going to say that I know obviously we're all in this position, or a lot of people are, but then you don't want to have a snowball effect next year, right? So are you planning on giving people, like, you take your carryover by Q2 or something, and then, so how do you make sure that this doesn't happen sort of every year? Because it does become cumbersome to manage then.
Oh, I mean, Lori is listening in, and I'm 100% sure that she would agree with you.
Yeah.
So we're going to allow them the entire calendar year to take the additional week. Not everyone is going to carry over a full week. For some people, it might be like an extra day or two. But what we're going to do is we normally don't start reminding people until, like, I think September, that they have time that is in danger of being lost. So we're going to start by doing that in the spring and be like, hey, here's how much time you have. And if you don't take time, this is what you're going to lose at the end of the year. Consider putting a plan together. We're going to be talking with the managers too, which I already have, about making sure that there are plans in place with staff so that they can take that time. You know, I mean, it is going to be a challenge, and I'm going to make it clear to staff that this is a one-off. This is not like, oh, next year, well, can't you just go to the board? Like, nope. This is a singular event that will not happen again unless something else catastrophic happens to our world.
Okay. I guess my other question would be if, you know, we don't know what's going to happen with the vaccine, but it looks like things are going to be continuing for at least Q1 and Q2. Like, if we're open then in Q3 and Q4, are you going to have enough people, you know, if everyone tries to take vacation at the same? So I'm sure you guys will manage that. But those are all the things I think we're all dealing with.
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely. And I mean, I've thought a lot about this. I've talked with Lori about this, and I think the key here is, and this might just be because this is how my brain works, is like, you have to have a plan. And so we have to say, you know, we might have to say to people, look, you know, you're going to have to schedule out at least half of your vacation by the end of Q1 so that we have a plan, so we can make sure that the staffing is appropriate. We also have the authority to say, oh no, sorry, there's already 3 other people taking vacation that week. We can't allow you to take it. You have to pick a different time. And that's the value of planning ahead, so that we don't have to do that. Or if we do, we can do it with enough notice that it won't be impacting people in very severe ways.
Basically, the way I see this is, this is our way of showing the staff that we do care about them, and giving Kate and Lori the ability to have more flexibility in planning for next year. So I still need a motion.
I think Jay had his hand up, Carlos.
Jay?
No, that's okay. Abby just asked my question, so we're done.
Sorry to steal your thunder, Jay.
That's okay.
Well, you have a secretary now. Okay.
I'll make the motion, Carlos.
Go ahead.
Motion to approve vacation carryover
Of up to 1 week.
Up to 1 week for 2021.
Mara?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Ms. Bernstein,
Yes.
Ms. Krisham,
Yes.
Mr. Globinger,
Yes.
Mr. Parsi,
Yes.
Ms. Shu,
Yes.
Ms. Young,
Yes.
Mr. Fromm.
Yes, thank you. Motion carried. I hope that we can allow the staff plenty of vacations and everything is going to be back to normal.
Thank you guys very much. Can I just say thank you guys very much? This is going to be much appreciated.
Sure. Before I ask for a motion to adjourn, can we close the meeting and then open to the public so that people can exchange comments and whatever they want to talk without?
No.
Why not?
because that would violate the Open Meetings Act if there were
not meeting. Excuse me, we are not meeting.
But if a majority of a quorum is present and any library business is discussed at all,
not gonna be library business discussed. We're just gonna hear people talk.
Right, like check in with each other.
Like
Is
a
it okay
social,
to check in
like
with
a
each
social,
other? Like
you know,
social hour.
We went out to dinner. But
Yeah.
Yeah, like
dinner,
after we stand in the lobby. Like when we stand in the lobby.
It is.
I
Thank
want
you
to know
very
what
much,
everyone's
Kate.
doing.
We are going to do that. I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Wait, Carlos, how do we do that?
Second.
After we pass the motion to adjourn, we are going to ask Joe to put the people online so that we can talk to them. They can talk to us and we can see their faces.
Who?
Oh, Peyton is still not happy because it's okay.
It's technology, Abby. I don't know if you know anything.
Wait, did we adjourn?
Nothing about technology.
you have not officially adjourned yet. We are still in the meeting.
Let's adjourn. Let's adjourn, Carlos.
Okay.
Let's adjourn.
I
moved.
All right, one. And who's second? Who's second the motion to adjourn? All
I'll
right.
second.
Roll call.
Ms. Bernstein,
Yes.
Ms. Christian,
Yes.
Mr. Globinger,
Yes.
Mr. Parsi,
Yes.
Ms. Shu,
Yes.
Ms. Young,
Yes.
Mr. Fromm.
Yes, we are officially adjourned.